Hi, hello, welcome to the Real Movie Duels podcast. I'm Drew.
I'm Nick.
And we get together and we have a battle royale of two movies. This week it is...
Terminator.
And...
Robocop.
Yes, Terminator versus Robocop. There's a comic book series back in like the 90s that was Terminator versus Robocop.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Well, it wasn't... You're not a big comic book reader, guys.
Yeah, well, back in the 80s, that was kind
Well, this was like 90s, probably when you were already like interested in girls and stuff, and you were done with like kid things. Possibly. You know, but whatever. But anyway, there was, but yeah, Terminator versus Robocop. Which, we didn't even talk who's doing the synopsis for which.
I don't care. I'll take Terminator, I guess.
I figured. Alright, I will do Robocop then. We should do Terminator first.
Okay.
Alright.
You're terminated, fucker.
Alright, Terminator. Nick is going to lead us through the synopsis, and I'll just interrupt every once in a while.
Yeah. So Terminator, 1984 sci-fi, James Cameron. One of his first movies, wasn't it?
Yeah, he made a couple, like, smaller ones. That was his major big...
It was like his breakout movie.
I think did he make a movie called, like, The Blue or something that was, like, an underwater type thing?
Never seen it.
But...
So, it's a sci-fi... Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's probably like his second movie, maybe. It's when he still doesn't speak good English.
Yeah, it's really his first major role. Like, he made what?
Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, I guess Conan was before Terminator, yeah.
Yeah, so it was like his second big feature.
feature.
But, okay, so...
He does talk more than he talked in Conan, though, probably.
Possibly.
Yeah, maybe.
He doesn't talk much in either one of them.
Yeah.
Which is good.
It's probably for the best.
Okay, so it's sci-fi. The basis of the movie is robots have taken over the Earth.
In the future.
Yes.
Yes.
And there's like a big resistance. And so the guy that is the main leader of the resistance, because the humans are about to win the war with the robots. So they send a Terminator, which is like somebody that goes and kills people, back in time to kill the leader, John Connor's mother, before he's ever born. So that's basically the premise of the movie. And the humans also send someone back to protect her.
Correct.
So it's basically a big chase down. The Terminator's trying to find Sarah Connor.
So he's just going through the phone book, name by name.
Yeah, there's like
knocking them off. It's convenient that
she's the
third one, because the first two don't stand much of a chance.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's basically trying to track her down and chase her down the whole movie. And Kyle Reese, which is our human hero, he's trying to protect her. And
correct.
Does a pretty good job most of the movie.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, right? It's fairly simple, straightforward.
I mean, there's a lot that happens.
Yeah, correct.
But, so he's basically like a machine, but he has like human
tissue on top.
So.
Correct. As Kyle Reese explains, he's a cyborg. He's got machine, but then human flesh on top of it, or tissue to yeah.
And at the time, this was like a really breakthrough type movie.
Yeah, why was it so breakthrough at the time? Because the special effects were pretty good probably for the time.
No, I don't think there was a whole lot of like sci-fi type future robot type stuff.
Yeah.
Back then, anyways. So
yeah.
And it was a lot of sci-fi. Nowadays it might, people might think that it might really come true with all the AI stuff going on.
That's true. There are some people who believe that. So I was watching with my wife. I don't know if she's ever seen the first Terminator. I know she's seen the second one, but she might have seen the first one like long, long time ago. But we got to the police car or the police station scene where he like comes in. And he's like, because Sarah Connor's in the police station being protected. And the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, who looks like a human, comes in and asks if he can see Sarah Connor. And they're like, no. And blah, blah, blah. He's like, all right, I'll be back. That was like the famous I'll be back. My wife's like, what? That's the I'll be back? That's the line? I'm like, yeah, that's the line.
Mm. Then he goes and kills all the cops.
Yeah, because then he says, I'll be back. He goes outside, gets in his car, and rams it right through the front door of the police station and takes out the whole police station.
I remember that was like a big controversy, too, because like, he was like showing all these cops getting killed.
Really?
Yeah. At the time.
Interesting. I
It's
didn't know
like
that.
1984, man.
Man, people are sensitive back
So it's
then.
like taboo back then.
I guess. Can't kill cops.
Can't be showing that stuff. Speaking of killing cops.
Are we? No, just...
No, I was talking about your movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. So, yeah, that's Terminator. Okay. So we do the synopsis. Do we do a review now? I always forget.
No, we'll do the review at the end.
All right, so
we'll do the synopsis.
We'll do the synopsis of Robocop. All right.
I'll be back. Your move, creep.
All right. All right. So Terminator
Versus Robocop.
All right. As far as story or script, which do you think had the edge?
I think Terminator has the edge as far as the story. I think it's a little more complex. Plus it sets up for future, sequels and stuff like that a little bit better, I think.
I don't know. I think I'm going to give it to RoboCop just because I feel that it has a better tone. Like, it's more... it's more interesting to me from a tonal standpoint just because it has kind of like a satirical edge to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas Terminator, the one thing I noticed when rewatching it, it's kind of heavy-handed sometimes. Like, there's like a lot of exposition where he's like has to explain all this stuff, and it's just like it kind of drags the movie down a little bit. And it's violent, but it's not over the top. I like RoboCop because it's got that over the top violence. So it's like, it's not to be taken too seriously. Like, it's got this kind of.
It's more like comic book. I mean, it is very violent and but it's more like, I don't know.
It's just over the top.
Like when the dude falls into the acid and his face is melting off.
And the problem with Terminator is, and maybe this is more direction, so we'll wait for that. But yes, script wise, I don't know. I think RoboCop is just a little the complexity of the story. There's more of a complex backstory for Terminator, but the story itself is still fairly simple.
Yeah.
I think they're both pretty well paced. Like, you don't really get too bored or anything with either of them.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I
would give the edge to Terminator for sure.
I'd give it to RoboCop. That's fine. We can disagree.
What about acting?
I
actually thought Linda Hamilton was not a great actress in that movie.
No, and Kyle
going
Reese
back
isn't
and watching
great.
it. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He's got charisma, but he isn't a good actor.
Right.
Well, I thought the main bad guy, not the executive guy, but the guy who's off of a 70s show or whatever. I like him in RoboCop. He's very funny, kind of over the top.
Some of the other bad guys are kind of over the top.
They're a little stupid, yeah. But I liked him, and I thought RoboCop, Peter Weller did a good job. I think that's his name.
I guess I would probably give the edge to RoboCop there.
For acting? Yeah, probably.
Actually, I mean, going back and watching it, I was like, man, Linda Hamilton was really not a good actress in this movie.
No, she was...
I mean, she did
I think she was better in
right,
T2. But... I don't know, maybe she had a better script. I don't know what it was. Oh, in the 80s, style in Terminator was a little distracting as well. Like the big hair and all that stuff. I don't know. I didn't notice as much in RoboCop. And then, all right, so directing, overall, pacing, things like that.
I would go with Terminator again.
Yeah, it's a toss-up for me because Terminator was pretty well paced.
I like both the directors, honestly. Paul Verhoeven and
he's good, and James Cameron,
of course.
Terminator's pretty well paced. Like, it's fairly action-packed. It doesn't have a lot of lulls, except
there's a couple
places where there's some exposition. Did you think so? Watching Terminator the second time, let's just get this out of there. Isn't it kind of weird that John Connor sent Kyle Reese knowing that he's going to seduce his mom and be like his father?
But I mean, or does he know he has to do that in order to exist? You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I know he has to, but isn't that still kind of weird?
It would be weird, but...
And Kyle Reese had this weird hero complex worship thing for Sarah Connor and kind of had a crush on her. I don't know. It just felt kind of creepy, right?
I guess.
There's some creepiness there that I kind of got a whiff of. It's kind of strange if you think about it too hard.
I mean, it is.
But anyway, okay. So where were we talking about?
If he doesn't send him back, he doesn't exist. So it's kind of
That's true. He has to.
He kind of knows he has to.
Yeah. Directing, I'd probably give the edge to Terminator and directing, just in terms of pacing and just kind of the action scenes are a little better, maybe choreographed or whatever.
But special effects.
They're 3 years apart. You wouldn't think that's a huge difference, but... Oh, man, they both had that cheesy, stop motion thing going on with the Ed 209 and then with the Terminator, especially towards the end, when it's all robot. Did you notice how, choppy and weird that was?
Yeah.
It's probably a wash on special effects. I don't think RoboCop went too far ahead of it, really.
Yeah. Terminator 2 was one of Stan Winston's early early movies.
Yeah, the design of the robot in Terminator 2 is really cool.
But of course, I mean, like the stop motion stuff is pretty obvious in both movies.
In both of them, yeah. Yeah.
But I think there was more of it in Terminator just because of the way, like, we had to cut out his eyeball.
Yeah.
The half and half face, where Robocop was actually a human just dressed up like a
robot. Yeah. So that helped some as well. But yeah, it was less jarring in Robocop, but I think they both had about the same level. There wasn't a huge...
I mean, I don't think either one of them held up terribly. For as being old as they are.
Correct. I think you realize where it's coming from.
Right.
I thought the music in Terminator felt a little dated to me. Like some of the like
the 80s.
Yeah, like the soundtrack. I didn't notice that as much in Robocop. It felt like more of a traditional, timeless score, whereas...
I don't really even remember the music in Robocop. I mean,
I think that's good. Like if it's not jarring or pulls you out of it, it's just supposed to be background. So I think that means it's better. Yeah. Whereas in Terminator, I noticed some of like the music during like the chase scenes. I'm like, this feels like a TV show or music, or you know what I mean? You know how TV shows have cheesier music than like movies or something. I don't know. So interesting. All right. Do we rate? Let's rate both. Well, no, we don't rate them because that would...
Overall? Who wins?
All right, hold on. Let me...
Who's your overall winner?
All right, so winner of the Battle Royale. You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Terminator wins for me.
I'm going to have to go with Robocop. So why did you pick Terminator?
For me, it's just overall... I enjoy both movies, honestly.
Yeah, they're both really good.
But as far as the nostalgia and... setting up for what I know comes next. That might even play part of it, but
sure.
I try to judge it on its own as a movie, but I don't know, I've always enjoyed Terminator.
Yeah, it's a good flick. I'm going to go with Robocop, and I'll tell you why. So Terminator's really good. It feels more dated to me, and it's not that different from Terminator 2, and I feel like Terminator 2 is a better movie in every way. Right? But I really liked Terminator when I was a kid, but going back, I just started to see some of the flaws and some of the, like I said, the weird thing with Kyle Reese, and then I don't know, I felt like there's a lot of exposition where he's got to, like, spend minutes explaining stuff, I'm just like, okay. Whereas, what's great about RoboCop is it works really well. It's paced really well. It's like, it has a tone that it maintains throughout the whole thing. It's got that over-the-top violence to kind of make it feel a little different than everything else. You know what I mean?
It's a little campy to me, though.
It's a little campy, but to me that's almost... Since it knows it's campy and plays into that, I think it works because it's like it's got the humor. So if you're campy, but yet you are intentionally trying to be kind of funny and satirical, I think it works. And then the over-the-top violence just adds to that kind of over-the-top satirical campiness or whatever.
I get it. I mean, I like it too, but...
But yeah, no, I understand. I think, like I say, I think RoboCop wins for me just because it's got a little more of an edge, whereas Terminator plays itself a little straighter. Now, to you, that might be a benefit for Terminator that's a little straighter. But for me, I enjoy this sort of, slight, off-putting, weird edge to RoboCop that gives it sort of a different thing.
You've always kind of liked RoboCop more, I think.
I have always liked RoboCop. It's always been one of
my
I super like Terminator too. Both those movies are like two of my favorite 80s science fiction movies, obviously. Yeah. I mean, you put that and Aliens. I mean, those three are like the
This is the first time we disagreed.
Well, I know.
For an overall winner.
I agree. I figured it might go this way, but all right, so 5 popcorns or whatever? Oh, no, we do all right, in the theater or, matinee, evening. All right. So for Terminator, how would you rate that?
I would say full price, IMAX, matinee, whatever. Like, I would pay full price to see Terminator.
I would have before I watched it again.
Full price.
Now that I've seen it, it's probably a matinee for me. Still go to the theater, matinee, then RoboCop.
RoboCop, I would say probably evening full price too. Probably not IMAX or anything extra, but...
Yeah, I'd go full price, evening, IMAX, all that stuff.
All that stuff.
Yeah, I like RoboCop.
I like that much more than Terminator.
Well, I think they're just slightly one step ahead. Like, this is like a 4 and RoboCop's 5. That's kind of where we're at. If we had to use numbers, that's kind of. But So. All right, current stuff. So, we both saw Aquaman just a few days ago.
True.
What did you? Okay, so I was really weird. This movie was weird for me because I kind of thought the trailer didn't look good, and I haven't liked most of the DC movies, so I wasn't even really planning to see it necessarily.
I was just the opposite. I thought the trailer looked really good. I haven't really enjoyed a lot of the DC movies either. Justice League I thought was okay.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman I thought was okay, but like I hated Superman versus Batman.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
That was terrible.
So when you had texted me, say, "Hey, you want to go see it?" I was like, "Well, I wasn't really planning to, but I'd like to go to a movie with you. So if you're gonna go see Aquaman, I'll go or whatever." You know, I mean, and I'm the kind of person I'll see any movie, once. You know what I mean?
I thought the trailer looked like it was gonna be really good though.
And so, even going to the movie, I was like, I need to get my mind right. Like, I don't want to go in negative, so I was trying to like orient my mind to be open to whatever it was. And after seeing it, I definitely see a lot of flaws, and there's a lot of things I didn't like, but it was entertaining. I wasn't like super bored. I thought it was too long, which I knew that going in because it was like 2 hours and 25 minutes. I'm like, no movie like Aquaman of any kind of movie like that needs to be 2 hours and 25 minutes.
I agree.
But, it didn't feel super long while I was watching it. And it was, the special effects I thought were really good.
Yeah. I thought it had some pretty good action sequences too.
The action sequences were pretty well done too. So, I mean, special effects, action sequences were well done. That was good.
I didn't think the acting was terrible.
I think it wasn't the worst. I think it would have been better if they had a better script. I really felt like a lot of the dialogue was kind of cheesy, and I felt like the jokes, most of them fell flat.
A little bit. The main one that I had problems with the actor was the main bad guy, the king or whatever.
Oh, yeah, Ocean Master.
Yeah, I didn't think he was...
He was just... Well, I thought
he wasn't sinister. Like, I mean...
Yeah.
Was he really even, like, a villain to be feared? At some point, I was just like...
Well, and the Black Manta guy seemed like his acting was really bad, too. Like, he just seemed over-the-top kind of cheesy. Like, he had no personality whatsoever. And then, I thought that...
At least he was somewhat menacing once he got the...
I guess.
Once he got, like, the costume and everything.
Yeah, but he's your typical inept bad guy. Like, at one point, he had Aquaman, like, in his sights, and instead of, like, frying him, he has to, like, talk to him. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, that's so...
But it definitely was a little long. Like, they could have cut some of that out for sure.
Well, one of the things Scott said, which I kind of agree with, it seemed like they tried to cram too much in. Like, they wanted to get all those 7 different kingdoms or whatever, Yeah. It's like, do we really need all 7 kingdoms? I mean, save something for the sequel. You know what I mean? Like... In order to have a big, huge 7-kingdom battle, you really need to build it up a little more. But they didn't really have time to do that, so they just kind of felt like they threw it all together at the end with the big battle. And I'm like, well, who's this kingdom and who's this? I mean, not enough time to develop them, really, to make you care about them in the final battles or even notice who they were very much.
Right.
What do you think about the scene where, like, he finally gets the trident and the suit and he comes out of the waterfall and he's all posing?
I mean, it didn't really bother me. I'm used to it.
Yeah, I guess. It just seemed kind of...
I mean, it's cheesy, but I mean, I think they do that in every
they do.
superhero movie ever, so it's like, you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt.
So, yeah, you probably liked it more than I did, but just because, I don't know, it may be that I'm just not a DC guy. Maybe I'm just too Marvel.
I mean, I didn't love it. It wasn't like the best movie I've ever seen.
Correct, but
I didn't hate it.
Like I said, I thought it was well done in terms of like action and cinematically and the special effects.
I'm not going to pay to go see it again in the theater.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. But I mean, it was for us Saturday or for afternoon, distraction or whatever, for something fun to do. It'll serve its purpose.
Seen anything else lately?
I haven't seen a lot.
I went and saw Instant Family.
Oh, was that bad?
I mean, it was alright. I went and saw it with my sisters and my niece. They were going on Christmas Day or whatever.
Yeah.
I just went with them. I mean, it is what it is.
I started watching that new Coen Brothers movie on Netflix. Like, it's like a Western, like, anthology movie, but I haven't gotten through it yet. So I really haven't watched many movies.
Have you seen Bird Box yet?
No, I saw the trailer. Did you watch it?
I watched it.
Is it any good?
Yeah, I liked it.
Is it? I'll have to check it out.
I watched Avengers Infinity War again, too, because it's on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, no, it's on Netflix. I need to turn that. I did watch I was working with my younger daughter, and we were putting together a Lego set, so I just turned Dark Crystal on the TV while I'm doing, because it's a good background show.
They're making a sequel.
That's kind of why I was curious to watch it again, because I knew they were doing a series or something on Amazon or Netflix or something, something, or a sequel. I don't know. They're doing something. But that movie doesn't hold up that well.
How dare you?
People are some movies people are nostalgia about.
I mean, they're puppets.
And then you go back and watch it, and it's oh yeah, this is really good. I was watching, it's okay. I mean, maybe the cool thing about it is that it's puppets. I don't know.
Yeah. Puppets are timeless. They don't age.
They don't age, but that movie's weird. I don't know how that movie got made. I mean, I know it was in the 80s when weird stuff was getting made, and Jim Henson he
could do whatever he wants.
He apparently had a blank check, but it's impressive.
Yeah.
So, but it's very idiosyncratic, I think. Would be
Name a better movie with Muppets. Go ahead.
I can't.
There you go.
That's it.
See?
Star Wars? Empire Strikes Back.
No, all Muppets.
All Muppets. Are there any other movies with all Muppets? I can't really think of too many.
The Muppet movies.
The Muppet movies, yeah. That's true. True that.
There's been some Sesame Street movies, I think.
Did you watch what do you think of the Hellboy trailer? Were you a big fan of the original Hellboys?
No. I mean, I liked them, but
yeah,
I wasn't super into them.
Yeah,
I don't really care.
All right.
I'll probably see it at some point, but
what about let's talk about the trailers we saw, because there were quite a few of stuff that I think.
Oh, the new Avengers trailer.
Oh yeah, what do you think about that?
I'm stoked. It doesn't even really show you much, but
it doesn't. There's something I was wondering, because why wasn't Thor in the trailer? Because they show Iron Man, they show Captain America. Wasn't Thor just on Earth with the rest of them?
Yeah, but
wouldn't he be hanging out with Captain America, trying to figure it out?
I don't know, maybe
off doing something else, gathering strength or something.
I don't know. I mean, it didn't show everybody that survived, so.
Well, it showed the main guys other than Thor. I mean, you got your Ant-Man, you got your Hawkeye, you got your Captain America, Black Widow. I guess they didn't show Hulk much, did they?
Yeah, they didn't show Hulk at all, did they?
No, I thought
maybe Thor and Hulk went to go do something. I don't know.
Could be. Of course, it's Bruce Banner, not Hulk at this point.
They did that before. They disappeared for a couple movies.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, hopefully they don't disappear for this movie, but
hopefully not. So, what do you think about that Battle Angel Alita? The first trailer I saw that, it didn't look good. This last one I thought looked pretty good.
Oh, that looks good. I mean, I'll watch that.
And then, what about Glass? Glass.
Oh,
Are you excited?
I was a big Split fan, though.
Split was good.
Oh,
I loved Unbreakable.
I liked Unbreakable. It's kind of slow for me. I'm going back and watching. I went back and watched it not too long ago.
And it was still slow. It is a little slow, but I almost liked it at the time. I don't know how much I would like it now being slow.
I liked Split a lot, though. I think that dude is a super good actor.
Oh, yeah, he's a good actor. But yeah, that looks pretty fun. Different. There's one other one. Oh, Godzilla. I'm not excited about Godzilla at all.
Yeah, I don't really care about Godzilla.
Did you like the last one? It just seemed blah to me. Yeah, and this one looks like more of the same.
Well, it's kind of I think it's kind of like a niche thing. I
guess.
Like the Pacific Rim movies and
Yeah, I saw those.
It's the big monster versus.
Yeah.
I'm just not into that. I mean, I'll probably watch it at some point.
Sure.
Not super excited about it or anything.
Right.
I think it's kind of cool that they're bringing in all the other monsters that he used to fight and stuff.
Yeah, no, that is cool. But yeah, I never got into those old movies. Some people used to watch those on cable, all the old cheesy Godzilla movies. I never was into those.
Yeah.
So I may not be the right demographic. But I think they're trying to go for, obviously it's a huge budget movie, so I think they're trying to broaden their appeal to average casual people who aren't necessarily huge Godzilla fans.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're doing that very well.
I mean, I'll watch it, but
I'll probably see it on video. I don't think I'll go to the theater. But we'll see.
Who knows?
Cool.
Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Tell your friends. Leave us some comments. I think through the Anchor app, you can actually leave voicemails and weird stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Or on YouTube. Hit like.
Yeah.
Comment there. Let us know.
Cool. Absolutely.
What we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, what you want to hear.
So we had a split decision this time for split decision.
I was right.
I think Robocop is clearly the better movie, but whatever. Everybody has their different
People have delusion.
Exactly. Some people don't understand that just because Terminator 2 is really good doesn't mean the first one's that good.
Oh.
But it's all good.
But the first one is good.
Yeah, it is good. Just not as good as Robocop. So, anyway. But they never made another good Robocop movie.
It's true.
So,
So maybe that's why you like the first one so
I'd
much.
probably even take Terminator 3 over Terminator first one.
Now you're just talking crazy.
Okay, well, maybe.
Have you seen Terminator 3 lately?
No, I saw it once in the theater.
Yeah.
I never saw it again. I enjoyed it at the time, though.
You just like Claire Danes, that's all.
I did like Claire Danes. She's cool. All right. Peace out.
Girl Scout.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.